Herbie is kind of worried about what's happening next. Disney CEO Bob Iger and Kevin Feige have already commented on how all these things affect Marvel's larger plans going forward for the movies.
I
I
thought
don't usually do
Fantastic Four
box
was a good
office
movie. I just
analysis
went and
videos for
seen it
movies because they
this
tend to
last
be
weekend.
very, very dry, but I think it's important in this case, particularly with what's happening with Fantastic Four and generally their movies in 2025, and how all this bad news and underperformance is causing them to change their plans for the future of all the movies and TV shows multiple times the past couple of years. Like, there have been big changes after Secret Invasion cratered Marvel interest. But you remember, they've actually made more changes multiple times since then, like they literally just delayed Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars a bunch. So it's kind of been a bad year at the box office for Marvel just in general because of Captain America Brave New World, then Thunderbolts underperforming, now Fantastic Four underperforming. It doesn't mean that Marvel is cooked, but it does mean there are some bigger changes coming to Marvel in the next several years. We will explain what's going on. Kevin Feige has already detailed a lot of these changes. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. As a lot of you have probably guessed, it's ironic now how badly Marvel now needs Spider-Man Brand New Day to perform next year because it's their last chance to build hype for Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. They really, really need that strong lead-in to Avengers Doomsday. This is why you're seeing Marvel be so cool with all the Spider-Man stuff that's leaking from Brand New Day
Why is the
onto the
shit
internet
such
right
ass
now. Like,
quality?
it's
Is
just,
that just the
please
videos
let
he
it all get
found?
out there. People are having fun, enjoying Marvel stuff. They're getting hyped up about Spider-Man Brand New Day. This is why Marvel is so
I
cool
honestly
with
can't wait for that
all the
movie too. I'm not
Spider-Man
gonna lie.
pictures and set videos coming to the internet right now.
I want Spider-Man!
A really good
Oh, don't we
comparison to make would
all?
be Christopher Nolan's Odyssey movie. I tried to make a video for that trailer that they only released in theaters a couple weeks ago. It stars a bunch of Marvel actors, including actors that are also in Spider-Man Brand New Day, like Tom Holland and John Bernthal. Universal tried to block that movie instantly a number of times. I was able to keep it up, but I had to edit the video in really weird ways to get the copyrighted stuff out of it. But when it comes to Marvel and all the Spider-Man stuff hitting the internet, they're totally cool with it just because they need all that juice, all that hype. This is one of the clever things that Marvel also does, like studio orchestrated leaks just to build hype for movies. This year in 2025, as of me posting this video, it's a huge reversal of Sony and Marvel's relationship, very ironic from when they first signed the sharing deal to get Tom Holland's Spider-Man and Captain America Civil War to do the MCU Spider-Man solo movies in the first place. You'll remember, Sony really needed Marvel more than Marvel needed Spider-Man. Now it's totally reversed. Marvel absolutely needs Spider-Man way more than Sony needs Marvel now. Spider-Man Brand New Day is not guaranteed to earn over $1 billion, but I do think it's going to earn more money than Deadpool and Wolverine did, which would be at least $1.4 billion. I'll talk more about that during my Spider-Man specific videos. There are a couple
Deadpool
things that they're
Wolverine was
doing
a
with the
good
way they
ass
cast
movie.
the movie and what they're doing in the movie to stack the deck in their favor. The reason why everyone is now talking about the Fantastic Four in Marvel's worst nightmares coming true are because it's looking like it's going to earn less money than, say, Captain America Brave New World did, Captain America being the highest earning Marvel movie of 2025, despite everybody reviewing Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four much, much better, more favorably. If you look at the Rotten Tomatoes scores, both the audience and the critics scores for Thunderbolts
I'm not gonna lie, I don't go off of that Rotten Tomato shit, cause there's a lot of movies that I love that are ranked low than a bitch, and I'm like, bruh, that shit don't even make no sense to me. It just be a bunch of motherfuckers. I don't gonna lie, I'm a real movie enthusiast, so I can't go based off of what somebody else saying. I gotta see it myself. That's
and
just how I
Fantastic
feel.
Four are vastly, vastly higher than Captain America Brave New World, but both movies seem like they're going to underperform Captain America Brave New World. What does that mean? Why did that happen? Based on those critic and audience Rotten Tomatoes scores, it seems like Marvel answered fans' request to make better movies, so then why aren't people going to see those better movies? That is actually Marvel's worst nightmare, is that they make good movies, but still people do not go to see them. It's not a mystery when people don't go to see a
Since
bad
when?
movie. It didn't perform well, people didn't care to go see it because it was
Since
bad.
when
But what
motherfuckers don't
happens
go see a
when there's a
Marvel
great
movie?
movie that
No, that's
people
wild.
still
I
won't
ain't
go
gonna lie.
see? Kevin Feige has already talked about this and why he thinks Thunderbolts
I
and now
love
Fantastic
Marvel
Four are
movies.
underperforming. Slightly different reasons, but not that different. In the case of Thunderbolts, Kevin
Damn,
Feige
my
blamed
fan
the
loud
movie
as
doing
shit.
poorly on the fact that it was built on mostly a house of cards and a lot of Marvel Phase 4 pandemic characters that people mostly saw developed on TV or in really roundabout ways, or they were lesser D-list characters that weren't that hyped up to begin with. Like, it's really hard to get people excited to go spend money,
Thunderbolts was
especially a
good as fuck
lot of
too, though.
money, on theater tickets for characters that they weren't that excited about before. There are a lot of things stacking the deck against the Thunderbolts movie. The people point to that whole New Avengers twist at the end. That was not the reason why the movie underperformed. That was just a symptom of a larger problem. Originally, it was conceived as a Black Widow 2 sequel movie, a movie which really didn't demand a sequel to begin with. Like, why do we need a Black Widow sequel? Then when it comes to the hardcore fans,
I
the
still ain't seen the
roster of
Black
the
Widow movie.
Thunderbolts was just vastly, vastly different from anything that people have been
I might
asking
watch
for.
that
Like,
later
why are you
today,
going with
actually,
this
just so I can
roster? Like,
catch
why
up
there's so
on
many
them
super
times.
soldiers on the team? What's going on here? So if you want to blame someone for Thunderbolts underperforming, I would actually blame Kevin Feige for greenlighting that movie in the first place. When it comes to Fantastic Four, what the box office numbers seem to indicate based on the past couple weeks it's been out is it performed about as well as Superman opening weekend, which for Marvel right now is
Still
great
haven't seen
numbers.
that
Like, it
shit
actually
either.
did really decent opening weekend, but then in its second week, Fantastic Four had a massive, massive drop off, one of the worst ones for any Marvel movie. What that means is that the hardcore Marvel audience will show up for pretty much anything, but the casual audience and families
True.
just are not there anymore. And those are the real people that Marvel needs in order to keep making these $200 million movies. So Marvel's real big problem right now is more with the casual audience not caring about Marvel movies as much. This is why Deadpool and Wolverine can still earn over $1 billion while other Marvel movies around it are just bombing left and right. Both of them are long-time established fan favorite characters with hardcore and casual audiences. Like, people love them. Some Hugh Jackman Wolverine. Regular casuals will show up for that.
You save the good stuff for special occasions?
When it comes to the casual audience in the Fantastic Four, most people just remember the big misfire of the 2010s Fantastic Four bomb. It sounds like they were just not intrigued by the whole
No, that shit
1960s
was
period piece
mid.
of
I
this new
remember that.
movie, or the fact that Pedro Pascal was in it, or even just the rest of the cast in general. So it's kind of an uphill battle all the way with the
Pedro is a
casual
little weird,
audience
I'm
in the
not gonna lie.
Fantastic Four movie. Kevin
But he
Feige
is
probably not super
little weird.
surprised that it did not earn over $1 billion. He probably was not expecting it to earn that much money. But it does show you how much now Marvel needs Spider-Man Brand New Day to give them that mega bump heading into Avengers Doomsday, and those Avengers Doomsday trailers to really, really hit. Now they're really banking on Robert Downey Jr. returning, getting people's butts in seats. This is also why they're so happy to
Let's say
pay him
Channing
over
Tatum.
$100
Okay, so
million
that means we
for both of these
getting
next
the
Avengers
Gambit
movies,
then, right?
because they need him
I
that
seen a chair that
badly.
said Channing Tatum.
What the Disney CEO and Kevin Feige have both said about how all this changes Marvel's big plans for the movies going forward is both a combination of rebooting the MCU to make it way easier for brand new audiences to jump on with Marvel after Avengers Secret Wars. Remember, they're losing the casual audience right now. That's what all these box office numbers really show you, is that they're losing casual audiences. And one of the other biggest changes, and this might seem
One of the
obvious
main
when you
things
actually
that I'll say about the Fantastic Four movie, it was a good ass movie to me. I'll give it like an 8.5, maybe even a 9. It was pretty good. But the only thing I disliked the most about the damn movie was that Mr. Fantastic didn't use his powers for real until like towards the end of the movie, where it was like 40 minutes left, 35 minutes left. Like, that's the only thing. But shit, what the fuck was they gonna show us? The nigga stretching across the screen multiple times? You know, I guess, but like, it was good though.
think about it. Kevin Feige specifically said they're going to be casting brand new and unknown actors for the upcoming X-Men reboot movie in 2028, specifically to reduce the budget. Marvel cannot keep making $200 million, $250 million movies if they're only going to be earning $400 to $500 million on them at most. Based on what they've said, they're already in the process of doing that for movies after Secret Wars. Like, they're going to open up their purse strings and spend all the money they need to spend to get people hyped up for Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars, but then they're really going to be pinching
Yeah, that
pennies
was
after
Channing
that.
Tatum that I seen.
Reboot, recast as much as possible with cheaper actors so they can use all their popular characters in the toy box, starting fresh, to make as many Spider-Man puns as possible. A brand new day, fresh start for Marvel after Secret Wars. And one of the other things that they're doing going forward is just physically making less movies, releasing less movies and TV shows. That's what happens when you earn less money on your stuff, is you pull way back to optimize your spending. Also gives them
Nah,
way more
the
time to
Marvel TV shows are fucking peak though. I'm not gonna lie. Like the animated ones are fire. Motherfucking the ones that's on Disney, like Loki, WandaVision, and shit like that. Gas. I ain't gonna lie. Loki is probably my favorite Marvel show. Favorite of all time. Well, yeah, all time. Oh God.
focus on the quality of the things that they do wind
That
up
shit was
releasing.
fire. I can't wait for the Doomsday movie. That shit gonna be gas.
So even though Fantastic Four right now seems like it's Marvel's worst nightmare coming true, their whole 2025 just all completely underperforming. They really need Spider-Man Brand New Day to do crazy numbers next year. This doesn't mean that Marvel is completely over. It just means that we are definitely going to get that reboot after Avengers Secret Wars, and it's going to look very different in the MCU
That's
just
the
in
one
general
dude from the
after
X-Men,
that.
I think.
Also means the movies that they do wind up releasing will be way more
I
safe
don't know.
bets
I
in
ain't
terms
sure.
of titles. Like, you're not going to get quite as much weird stuff like you saw by the time we got to Marvel Phase 3. Most people will lament that that means we might not get
Guardians of the
weird,
Galaxy
cool stuff
gas
like Guardians of the
movie
Galaxy. If they weren't
series.
brave enough to try weird stuff, we would have never gotten that first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. So it is possible for them to do brand new weird fringe characters and still perform at the box office, but it's probably going to be a while before Marvel feels confident enough to try and do that again. They kind of tried that through all of Marvel Phase 4, and it did not go well. But everyone, post all your reactions in the comments below. If Marvel's making all these changes going forward based on the box office from 2025 and just even their decent movies underperforming, how do you feel like this is going to change Marvel going forward? The weird thing about this is that there is supposedly still a date that Marvel is holding for a mystery movie next year. We will see if they stick to that and there is some surprise movie that they wind up releasing, or it's something else. It might just be for that Punisher special presentation. There's a bunch of stuff coming up. Like I said, this is also why they're so happy to get all the Spider-Man pictures and video out there right now. I will, of course, do all the videos for that, like when there's a couple really big things. I'm waiting for like a bunch more stuff to drop before I do another big Spider-Man video, so we will see. I literally just posted another big one. Click here for that, and click here for my other big Sony Spider.
I think the Brand New Day movie is gonna be good because, like they said, they're trying to make it all go back. And if I'm not mistaken, the last Spider-Man movie, everyone forgot who he was, right? So that means he's gonna go back to being a real New Yorker, like a real New York Spider-Man, not doing all that multiverse shit, which I didn't have a problem with. Them was good movies, you know what I'm saying? But you know, to each their own. But I think the next Spider-Man movie is gonna be pretty good, pretty motherfucking good. Well, no, because ain't they filming that bitch in Spain or some shit? So maybe he not gonna be in New York. I don't know. We're just gonna have to wait and see when that motherfucker drop.